but right now getting the first reaction from Ajay Rawla, Rouvan's father. Mr. Rawla, the principal now admitting for the first time that he did cane your son and that he's sorry for that. But again, not accepting responsibility for Rouvan's passing away. Do you think enough has been said on this?
I think that I think that an apology is always a good place to start. And I think that the authorities are investigating the matter and they will take it forward. I think that I'm really relieved that they're not going to be doing the same things to kids in Rouvan's. Rouvan's friends are no longer going to be hit or abused, and a lot of them, that was happening to a lot of them. I'm relieved. I think that's the important part of this. I think that's what we all set out to achieve, is that our children shouldn't be humiliated, beaten and tortured.
So that is a valid point. Difficult as it is, the times that you're facing, do you think the school is in some sense trying to cover up? There's an internal probe committee report that's yet to be made public, but we've accessed it. The report also pretty much says what the principal is saying. Yes, we did cane your son, but we're not responsible for his passing away. Do you get the sense that perhaps there's a cover-up going on?
No, there was no committee ever. It was a one-man, Mr. Dhar had conducted an inquiry in the principal's room with Ghanaian presence. That can't be constituted to be an inquiry team. I mean, I was never questioned by them. I was never given, how can it be an inquiry? The inquiry is the inquiry of the NCPCR. How can you go to somebody who has done you wrong and expect them to come out and say that we've done the wrong thing? Their internal inquiry report is toilet paper as far as I'm concerned. It's
toilet paper, so you're not reposing too much confidence in what that inquiry committee puts out in a formal report?
I said that there was no inquiry report. It was there was no inquiry committee. It was a one-man inquiry, and I think what we're waiting for is the correct forum is the NCPCR, and that's the report that counts. And they've come out pretty much vocally with their findings.
Just a final question, sir. The principal also raising some questions about what happened to your son after he was caned. He says the boy had passed away 4 days later. So in a sense, questioning what went on at home when he didn't show up for school for the next 3 days.
He didn't show up at work for the next 3 days. And actually, I'm not attributing my son's death only to the caning. I think, what happened, actually what's more important is, or equally or more important is what happened to my son on the 12th, where he was humiliated, victimized, manhandled by 3-4 of the teachers, as I said yesterday on TV. And I think that is when you humiliate a boy beyond repair, when he thinks that, look, life is not worth living. And he doesn't realize that when he's going to take that step, that's why children's minds are fragile minds, and you have to treat them with care. And when he's thinking that he's going to do this, he's not thinking that he's not going to be there and we're never going to see him or hold him or hug him again. He's just thinking that I've got to find a way out of this, and he's overwhelmed at that moment. And I think there are enough experts on the subject who know that.
Appreciate, sir, for sharing your thoughts. Not just corporal punishment, but also the mental torture that was responsible for Rouvan's passing away. Mr. Rawla, would you say that you need a little more than just an apology? Do you ever believe that the truth will be told in this case?
I have not received an apology. I'm told that the board received an apology, but I don't want to be. I don't think that's the important part here. I think the important part is kids are not going to be hit, and if they have done wrong and they've broken the law of the land, which I think they have, I'm sure that they will have to pay the price for their crime.
You said that Rouvan was not the only boy who has been caned at La Martiniere. Do you believe the practice of caning was rampant in that school?
I definitely think so, and I think it's not, we are focusing on the caning because that's what we have a recording of. I think when you wait for the NCPCR report, there's a lot more that's going to come out than just caning.
Fair enough, but corporal punishment is illegal, and therefore there seems to have been a case where a law was broken in this case, which is why the caning is also important. and repeatedly, as you point out. What should happen to the principal? Supposing the National Commission for Protection of Child Rights holds him guilty or holds him responsible for caning, do you think he should be sacked?
I definitely think he should be sacked. I thought that for a long time. There was a stage when I went and begged the Board of Governors and said, as a grieving father, I need some closure on this. I'm trying to put my life together. I'm trying to understand why God has done this to us. I'm trying to understand why these people did such horrible things to my child. But as a family, I'm begging you with folded hands. If you give us an apology, we will accept that apology and we will try and move on with our broken lives.